All right, folks, welcome back to another edition. Rob, how we doing?
Good. What's going on, Tom?
Not much, man. Just enjoying the week. We had a great week of golf with not necessarily Hudson's won three times now or four times?
Yeah, I think that was his third one.
Yeah, but what I was getting at is going into the back nine there was like four guys that were winless on the tour going
hmm
after the first W, which was pretty cool to see.
I know. I was rooting hard for Harry Higgs. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I was on the Higgs train. I was also on the Harold Varner train until he
Yeah.
dumped one in the water.
Yep.
Um, yeah, there was a couple guys, but to me, that's just as exciting as seeing like a stacked leaderboard with guys that have
hmm
multiple wins. Like give me five guys in the hunt that haven't won before on the tour.
Yeah, for sure. I
That's
thought that was. Did you see the whole Venmo thing with Harry Higgs with his ace?
no.
I caught a glimpse of it today, but basically, he's got his name is what his name is on his Venmo handle. So he's joking that he's got to change it now to be more secretive. But basically, people is what I took from it was requesting money because of his hole in one because they watched it pretty much, for
Oh,
drinks. I think
okay.
it went in and out. I'm not entirely sure, but he was making fun about, it probably only cost him like $50, but
Speaking of, what a dumb concept. It should be the other way around. Like you shouldn't have to pay for anything when you make an ace.
that's true. I mean, well, did we ever talk about like the shoes?
No.
So it's funny, like I've never heard of this before, but so my coworker, he's a member at Idlewild, and then I have a couple other friends, and I think it was maybe three times this past golf season I heard it, but always I was always like, someone gets a hole in one, you buy the foursome drinks, blah blah blah. But now it's like you buy the foursome new golf shoes.
Says who?
It might be a country club thing, but it was like so the Charlie is his name. He was in a foursome. I think it might have been hole three at Idlewild. The
I've
guy got a
never
hole in
heard
one.
of it.
Yeah, but I heard it happened three times this past season. It's crazy.
That's preposterous.
I know
Like
that's pretty expensive.
I would literally buy like kids' shoes and give them to them. There's no way I'm buying you a pair, like especially three other guys.
Right, exactly.
We should
Well,
try,
I
we
was
should
gonna
try
say
to
they got
change.
your ignites. You got your ignites from the clubhouse there.
I mean, I thought the drinks was dumb. That's even worse. Like typically you're inside like the clubhouse and supposedly you have to buy like I've never had an ace, so I don't know. But you have to buy
Right.
the whole clubhouse drinks. Like I don't get that. Like
Right.
we need to start changing that narrative to where whoever gets an ace should be getting drinks for the entire night.
You should start like a spot for the tour.
We've thought about it. It would so it would only have to be on holes where there was cameras at that course. Like I remember
True.
when I was at Glen Woody, so like the third hole is their part, their
hmm
club par three hole where people
Yeah,
donate
pay
more.
the buck.
Yeah, because there's a camera. So
hmm That makes
other
sense.
yeah, otherwise, I mean, I could ask these courses if they do have a par three camera. That's the only way of legitimately doing it.
Uh, You make complete sense. I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah. I mean, we've had some aces on tour, some notables, Matt McGinnis, Southside Tour, and
Yeah.
the tour. Gabe Padilla. That one was McGinnis's was at Old Oak. Gabe Padilla's was at Seven Bridges.
hmm
I think
Oh,
six.
that's right. Yeah, you're right.
What is that? 16, 15, 14, somewhere in that ballpark. That and it's
Yeah. That
long.
short par three. Oh, the
No,
long par three? Oh, no, then
yeah,
that's 10, 11, 12, 13, I think.
13. It's like
hmm
192 or 200, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then uh Danny McGrail.
hmm
Um I can't remember who else. There might be a couple more, but yeah, to your point, I mean, that would be a nice little payday for whoever.
Sure.
I'm sure that could potentially go on for a couple seasons because one, you have to do it at a course that has a camera.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, we could start that up. Be a nice little kitty.
That'd be interesting.
I'll tell you what, whoever wins that ain't buying anybody no shoes or drinks.
Right.
Yeah, we gotta change that up. Maybe we'll get, somebody bigger than us to start moving that narrative. But Rob, we had a weekend.
We did have a weekend. It was fun.
We had a hell of a weekend. So for those listening, Rob and I went out to Sub 70 HQ on Friday to discuss some business. We also went over to Sub 70's new building, the 70, which is in downtown Sycamore. It's essentially their new
private fitting experience.
Private fitting center. Couple bays, indoor putting green, bar. That will be ready to rock in March, actually next month. So, well, no, we're still in January, right? Yeah. So it will be finished sometime in March. Place looks great. But let's rewind. While we were at Sub 70 HQ, we were able to, breaking news. We were able to get a deal done. And that deal is Sub 70 is the official Chicago Golf Tour sponsor, as well as the exclusive sponsor of the Scratch Series.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we were super pumped. I guess we've always had a really good relationship with those guys. Obviously, our, Jason, the founder and CEO, was on a month and a half ago. But the team behind the scenes, Jay, Rye, Dan, some of those guys that, like I said, are behind the scenes that really, get that train going. Those guys are super impressive.
The whole experience, from start to finish is great. Their product is awesome. It's a good fit, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it's a really good fit. Everything they do there, it just like blows my mind. I mean, it's so cool.
That was cool to see all the setups of the irons being built. That's impressive.
Yeah, the fitting stations, even just like the raw materials, the club heads, the shafts, all the stuff in the warehouse. I know we've been there before, but like I can go there each week and find something like totally awesome. So yeah, that place is just like, we're kids in a candy store there. But what I was getting at is it wasn't as business typey as I make it out to be. It was very laid back. That's kind of how, our motto is, their motto. That's why it's a good marriage.
They're all about having fun. And that's good.
Right. We like to have fun, kick back, maybe not take things so serious. At least we try to on the golf course, that is.
Right.
But yeah, what a hell of a Friday. It was awesome. I called Rob on the way home just to discuss some golf show stuff. And I mentioned something, and Rob was so jacked up on the call from the Sub 70 meeting. He gave me a let's go. So it was awesome. It was everything that we hoped, and we're super excited to work with those guys in 2022, and hopefully we could both blow it out of the water. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's a value we're bringing to our guys too. So
yeah,
it'll be a fun year.
So speaking of that value, a couple things. So the email that went out last week, and then last week's actually last week's podcast, I don't think we discussed it. We've discussed it in the past, but the value that Rob mentioned. So we're going to have a e-commerce pro shop with on our website with club equipment. So woods, irons, putters, balls, etc. Sub 70 is also going to be a part of that. So you're going to be able to have, you know, you're going to be able to get sub 70 clubs, at discount on our website. That's part of our partnership. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for that primarily just because I think there's still a bunch of guys in the Chicago Golf Tour that aren't familiar with sub 70. And
No.
I think once they get their eyes on them, they're going to be like, man, those things are sick. And then like myself, once you hit them, you're like, mercy, these things are nice. So yeah, I'm excited for that. All of their clubs are just so good looking. I mean, I think it's primarily their different colors. They're raw, they're satin, they're black.
Yeah, I mean, they're easy to hit, very forgiving. They got something for everybody. So
This is true. Their clubs are custom made, and they are for a scratch to a 25 handicap. Essentially, they are direct to consumer.
Yep.
And they're basically half price off of other OEMs. So
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, especially now, man. I mean, we've talked about it. Clubs are just equipment in general is crazy right now. So if you're in the market, definitely give sub 70 a listen, or excuse me, a go. You can visit the website, you could set something up, you could head out to Sycamore, and like I said, they'll custom build your entire set for essentially half the price. So
yeah, I mean, they're easy to reach, easy to talk to on the phone. So if you can't get down there, they'll talk you through everything. So it's awesome.
And their customer service is bananas.
Oh, top notch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very jealous of their customer service because I wish I had, half the patience they do. Sometimes, it's not hard, but they do it very well. I remember Jason saying, you just got to treat everybody like they're your brother-in-law. So that kind of stuck with me. That's my new motto in 20.
That's your new motto. Okay.
We'll see how that goes. But yeah,
obviously they just want you to be happy with your finished product, and they'll whatever it takes, how many rounds. It's my experience was the same way. So they just want to get you the final product that you enjoy, that you hit, and it doesn't matter if you got to send them back or whatnot. As long as the customer's happy, which is pretty cool these days.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we had a hell of a Friday. So we were able to spend the night with those guys. So we're pumped. We're pumped for everything that 2022 has to offer with them.
Yep.
And we have some cool stuff coming. Some co-ops, probably some merch, just a lot of cool things. So yeah, we're super excited.
Yeah.
So speaking of the weekend, we obviously talked about it earlier. We had the American Express. Hudson Swafford won that. I think Hudson just, had that composure. He's kind of been there before, mentality, and, just didn't make a big mistake down the stretch like a couple guys did. So back to the email that went out last week. So not only are we going to have the e-commerce pro shop, but wanted to clear up just because we've gotten some questions in regards to the 1 hour block tee times on each of the Saturdays and Sundays of each event. So you still have the weekdays by all means, and you still have
the full 2 weeks.
Yeah, you still have your full 2 weeks. You still have whatever works for you schedule wise. But this is just another opportunity for us to be able to offer you guys essentially a standing tee time every
Hmm.
weekend at every event, both weekends. So, like I said prior, it might not be the same window each event or even each weekend of the event. It could be a 9 to 10 on that Saturday. And then the next day, Sunday, it could be 1 to 2. But it's an opportunity or a window for you guys to be able to meet up and play and network. Um, it's essentially a safety net. It allows guys to, say, hey, well, and obviously you have to book this pretty well in advance because we have to circle back with the courses. But we're going to take care of that by creating a legit tee sheet with dates and times on our website. Uh,
Hmm.
and then we'll share that with courses. But um, yeah, so just to clear up any confusion, you guys totally have still a 2 week window. You could play whenever. But this is just more of an opportunity for you guys to get together and be able to play together or just have, you know, um, something in your back pocket. Say something falls through on Thursday and
Yeah.
it's not booked out yet. You could check the sheet and say, well, hey, let me check that 1 hour window for Saturday or Sunday.
Well, I mean, it's a huge benefit for the guys that sometimes can't find any to play with either. If
Right.
it's just another way to help guys out. So,
Right. Right. Essentially. So just to clear the air on that, I had another question about handicaps since we are going to um, Leaderboard King's World Handicap System. You know, what handicaps are going to be used prior to essentially for vetting? So, good question. Um, any members that played last year, all of your scores and stuff like that still lives in the events in Leaderboard King. So
mhm.
we'll just transfer those. So you'll play at, whatever your Leaderboard King tournament handicap is what essentially we're doing next year in 2022 anyhow.
Right.
So we'll just be able to pull that for new members. New members, there will be a place on the registration form where you could either input your last 6 rounds or upload, some type of revision or handicap so that we could then take that and give you a base handicap going into the new season. And as always, new members' handicaps are reduced by 2 to start. And then, prior members will remain at their normal playing handicap. So that's how we will essentially vet or use handicaps in 2022. And just as a reminder, so Rob and I, most of the guys in the Chicago Golf Tour have always had a CDGA handicap. We recommend keeping that just in case anything should ever happen, or if you want to play in CDGA events or other tournaments. The Leaderboard King World Handicap is essentially just for the CGT, and that kind of just lives within the CGT. So if you want to play in other outside games or carry like an actual everyday handicap, then I would keep CDGA.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, it's just the easiest thing instead of going back and forth between a tournament handicap and then just like your everyday slap it around handicap. So
Hmm.
hopefully that cleared things up. But that brings us to our Book It with T farmer picks
Here we go.
this week. Are you pumped, Rob?
I'm curious to see what he's going to pick for this.
Who's your guy? Let's start there.
To be honest with you, I have never thought about it. With all the good football this past weekend, I haven't even put any thought to it.
Want to know something sick?
Did you take the Bills last night?
Nope.
Did you not watch any football?
Not 1 second.
What?
Not one single second.
Oh, man, it was good.
I know. I saw highlights. I was pretty jealous. I honestly, I was going to turn on the Bills game, and then I got caught up doing something, and then I started pounding Ozarks again. So
Big Ozarks guy.
yeah, although I mean the show is just getting ridiculous at this point. Like it's almost like too, it's almost too fake to where it's like, okay, this is like getting out of control. But I still watch it. It's still pretty good. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed in myself. I didn't watch any kind of football.
Yeah, I felt terrible for Alan. I just felt terrible.
Yeah, that's rough, man. I mean,
so either way, I have not put any thought into picks. So I am curious about T's picks.
Okay, let's get it. Let's get to it.
Well, what about you? Did you think about anybody or no?
Yeah, but I've already looked at his picks, so it kind of, muddies the water.
Yeah,
but
sure. All right, let's hear them.
All right, let's go. We got the farmer picks. The farmer picks. Look at with T. So his long shot is Mr. Noren, 120-1. And then we got Max Homa at 70-1. And then we got Connors 50-1. Mr. Scheffler again, 25-1. And then his favorite, DJ, 20-1. And you could
I did see him. Sorry, go ahead.
And you could book it with T.
It with T. I saw the pictures of DJ on the driving range today. Got me all jacked up.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I think that's a good pick. I know Ram in some, not necessarily on any books, but in some golf articles, websites I read, he was like 15-1 or 18-1, something like that.
Dude, he was heated this weekend.
Oh yeah, I died. Did you hear the mic, dude? So funny.
That was awesome.
Yeah, in his accent, this fucking Mickey Mouse course is just a putting contest.
That's pretty good.
What that
impersonation? That's pretty good.
Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, I was dying. I thought it was hilarious. And then I was reading from other guys on Twitter, like other pros, that are like, he's not wrong. So
I saw all the putts that he had that lipped out so sharp. It was crazy. Yeah. It's absolutely crazy.
Well, they say desert golf usually is a putting contest. But yeah, give me Ram fired up at any point, anytime. Just give him a mic. I mean,
very true.
He is very comical, fiery. I mean, the old Spaniard is, he's just gonna let whatever fly off his chest.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear? Who was it? Sungay? Him? It was one of the loudest fucks I've ever heard on TV.
No,
you didn't hear that one? No. Oh, it was, dude. It was like the announcers didn't say anything for literally 40 seconds.
Wow.
It was probably, I don't know. It was like midway through the broadcast, so he might have been on the back already, but it was so blatantly obvious and it was so loud. Like I started dying laughing. Yeah, I think that should be, I think live mics should be, like, don't get me wrong. Some stuff I think, there's time and place for it, but like, I think especially like right after shots, I think there should be a live mic no matter what. Cause that's when you get, a candid emotional response.
Oh yeah. True reaction.
Yeah. True reaction. Talking with caddies I love, but I think besides that, there's really no need. But yeah, live mics are awesome.
I do like the general talk between Spieth and Geller a lot. Greller.
Yeah. Well, Spieth's your boy, so not surprised by that. Who do you like out of T's picks the most?
I do like DJ. He's got it. His swing is awesome.
Yeah. I just like his demeanor.
Yeah, that's true.
I like how he just gives zero, not one fuck. And he walks like, he walks like a big, like Saint Bernard, where his paws are like too big for his body. And, he just gallops along and doesn't have a care in the world.
Dude, what about we didn't even talk about I don't know if you watched, did you see Danielle King? That was awesome.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was awesome.
what was awesome prior to, did you see the interview she did with Barstool Sports?
I didn't get a chance to listen to it or watch it, I should say.
The day before. So she said she's played that course like very few times.
Mm-hmm.
And she said it's kind of like Shadow Creek, to where it's tough one, but there's some holes where it's like very gimmicky around the greens. So if you don't know
Mm-hmm.
where to miss, she's like, you're in a super bad spot. So she said she went out and walked 9 by herself, and the front 9 took her 3 hours by herself, because she like went all over the place
Sure.
and looked at little different nuances. And she let 3 groups play through her, because she was like taking all these notes and like, trying to remember stuff. But basically she told those guys like, yeah, like I don't know this course at all. And they're like, well, do you think you could win? And she was like, I don't know the course. Then look what happened.
Right. Yeah. She had an
So
awesome round on Sunday.
as always, are you ready for the top 3?
Oh, you know it. Give it to me. Let me hear this.
All right. I want to know, what are your top 3 favorite shots to hit?
Straight off the tee, straight off the tee, and straight off the tee.
Literally?
No. Top 3 shots to hit. I do like
You are a big T-ball guy.
I like holes that are, slightly dog leg to the right, where you get to, fade a ball off the tee, because that's the natural ball flight for me. So that'd probably be 3. 2 would be if I have my sand game going, to, there's nothing like a good sand save on the bunker, next to a bunker.
Nothing like a good sand save.
Nothing like a good sand save. And then God, man,
I mean,
I don't know.
AMs aren't supposed to get up and down from the sand.
True.
So there's nothing like a good sand save.
No, especially that, yeah, when you put a little English on it, stops right there. Just it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
Talk dirty.
And then I don't know, man. Just a simple, again, big tee shot guy, but if you have like a par 3 that you're like 7 or 8 iron into the green, and you just hit it crisp, and it just it stays on that pin, then you have that little glimmer of hope that you might get that hole in one, but at least it stops, spins back a little bit. So yeah, those have to be top 3. Honorable mention would have to be like when you drain a long ass putt, 30, 40 feet, nothing like that to get you going, especially in a scramble.
Oh
like
yeah, that gets the boys fired up.
Big time.
Big time. There's a lot.
How about just?
There's a lot of hooting and hollering. A lot of high five.
A lot of Tiger fist bumps. I'll give you that one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so those are mine. What about you?
I would have to go. Yeah, I would say probably I'll go more like universal, like a shot shape off the tee box. So to your point, whether that's dog right, dog left, or even a little stinger that like none of us know how to hit half the time, but when we do, it feels great.
That's one thing I wish I could accomplish off the tee, because those are like, I'll sit there on Instagram all the time and watching those guys hit those stingers from like where they put the camera down, and you just see it's fucking nuts.
Unless it's like a very abbreviated like punch for me, I don't have a shot at ever hitting a stinger because I'm just so steep.
Mm-hmm.
But I barely try to hit a stinger ever in my life. More of just like flighted stuff, but like not really a stinger. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't even have that club in my bag, but yeah, I would just say like a a go-to, or like when you have to play a certain shot shape off the tee, that's fun to me.
Mhm.
Um, I like courses set up that way. I don't, you know, straight fairways, just straightaway fairways gets kind of boring after a while. But number two, I would probably say I would probably say like a really good up and down.
Mm.
So whether that's like, short sided and chip up, get in, or, if if you just kind of lay one short with a putt or blow it past and then make like a 12 footer coming back for a par save.
Sure. Mhm.
Yeah, those are just as big as birdies to me, in my opinion. And then I would say, no doubt about it, number one is probably like a mid to full wedge.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
big, big wedge guy.
Big wedge guy, huh?
Yeah, like, I love my numbers. I'd rather obviously have a full wedge, like a full pitching wedge. I should say that's like the sweet spot. But I don't. I love hitting, or I should say I love practicing too, like 3/4 54s, or you know maybe like a 75 90 yard shot.
Mhm.
I like those a lot. I just think you could do so much with it. Like, you can come in low, you could throw it up high, depending where the pin's at.
Oh yeah, it's a good top three.
Yeah. Till next time, there, Rob. We'll see you in the fairway.
See you in the fairway, Tom.
See you, buddy.